sit back in your seats, get something to eat, and watch this movie. Don't let the kiddies see it, because, well, we'll let you hear the beginning first. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Closet Chat.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going really well, but first of all, who the heck are you?
I'm Rainy. Who are you?
I'm Sunny.
Cool.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back for episode 12.
Episode 12.
And in a new location, actually.
In a new location. So, apologies if there's any different background noise. I don't know.
Yeah, I am still trying to figure out, because the placement of the room that we're in, we're just still trying to figure it out. I'm also realizing that I'm looking at the monitor on the laptop.
Yeah.
It's a lot louder, so I think it's because we're a lot closer now to the mic.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was my chair.
Beautiful. So, Rainy, my dear co-host.
Yes.
What are we up to for today?
Well, since it's still a spooky season, why don't we go through a horror thing that our people our age have to go through lately? Memory lane.
Oh, yeah, feeling old.
Feeling old.
Remembering the good times of our childhood.
Yeah.
And then becoming incredibly hyper aware of our current age.
Yeah, remembering how this was popular in, over 20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years ago, yeah. That's kind of crazy to consider.
Yep.
So, for today's episode, we are going to be looking at childhood toys.
Yeah, we'll be looking through some childhood toys that we've had. We've also might bring up any toys that we wish we had growing up. Rather, our families didn't have the money for it, or we just, by the time they came out, it was an expectation that we were not allowed to have toys.
Yeah. So, primarily, we're going to be looking at toys throughout the early 2000s because for us, that is our childhood.
Yep.
Once again, we are we're not old. I'm not gonna be like that, but we are definitely getting there a little bit.
I'm down 3 tears down my cheek.
Oh, calm down.
Well, I'm a year older than you, so that's why.
Like, only a year.
Yeah.
Barely a difference.
Yeah, but I still feel old.
So, viewer, think back to your childhood. Close your eyes. What do you remember? What is a part of your core memory growing up? Was it the toys, the dolls, the Hot Wheels, the Bratz, Neopets, Webkins? Maybe you were on Gaia Online.
Yeah.
Maybe you watched shows like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana.
That's another topic for another day.
But yeah, for us, yeah, that was it for us.
That was pretty much. I think that was pretty much for both of us. Like, because we're thinking of our childhood in the 2000s, which, looking back at it, is like completely different than what it is now.
Oh yeah, and for me, really, it's mostly like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, like I mean, for me, it was early 2000s, mid 2000s, and then late 2000s, and then the early 2010s to mid 2010s when I was a teenager, and then after that, my adulthood.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind on you with that.
About a year.
So, Rainy,
Yes.
looking back in that memory of yours, what was a toy you remember playing with the most?
I remember a lot of toys. Barbie was pretty much a big one.
That's a fun one to start with.
Yeah, because we all know Barbie has been around since our parents' age, maybe past our parents' age. And I remember that the only Barbie that I had was the traditional blonde hair, blue eye.
Yeah.
And it was like many things from the roller skate Barbie, which was a pain to play with because I to this day I don't know how it worked.
Oh, fun fact. It launched on March 9 of 1959.
So that's way older. That's past our parents' age then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I remember that. So I remember that rollerblade Barbie. I remember I had a lot of Barbies that I may have broke the limbs of.
Oh, I was going to say, did you cut their hair too? Did you rip their heads out?
I never ripped their heads off. I would break their limbs by accident because I played too rough,
How
apparently.
did you do that? Those Barbies were strong.
So,
Like, I remember they could, like, poke a kid's eye out.
yeah, but you just gotta remember one thing, and this is just in general. I was able to break an iPad from the inside out without ever dropping it.
This is a new fact I've learned about you. When?
This was like, I think, before we met.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how destructive I was.
My God. Okay. Story for another time, I guess.
Story for another time. But yes, I remember a lot of Barbie dolls. And the frustrating thing was, I never had a Barbie that looked like me, which I think at the time I didn't think much of it because it was like, oh, it's just a Barbie doll, it's a brand name. And then now looking back, and I'm like, why was there no Barbie that was like me?
Well, I think part
yeah.
of why, like, a lot of people didn't really think about it until more recently is just because of how oversaturated,
Yeah.
like, seeing those kind of figures, like, from TV shows to toys to just magazines, everything. We were constantly surrounded by the whole, like, idea of, having blonde hair, blue eyes, the lightest skin.
Oh, yeah.
Or really, honestly, back then it was who had the tanner skin.
Right, yeah.
Because I think tan was was really in the 2000s, right?
I think so. But yeah.
A lot of tanning spray.
Oh my God, so many. Sunny.
I know. Oops.
You get on my case about my phone?
You need to get a little jar where you put in the money every time we have our phones on.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the fact that we were constantly surrounded by that, and it's like you did not have diversity at the time.
Oh yeah. And like you don't notice that until like you grow up and you really look at the world from a bigger lens, and you're like, oh wow, that was not. I wish I had this as a kid. Like you want to say that, yeah. So I'm just like, but like looking back on it, I'm like, I still have good memories about Barbie, because especially since I mostly didn't have friends as a kid, so Barbie pretty much was my friend.
That's incredibly sad to hear.
It is sad to hear. Yeah, but yeah, that was like one of the biggest toys toy I had the most, and I think at some point I grew out of it and then switched over to another toy.
So, honestly, when it came to Barbie, just like with Polly Pockets and really any toy that had clothes, I played with the clothes more than anything. So when I was a kid, I used to love playing with inanimate objects like jewelry or buttons, and I'd be like, oh, a shiny pearlescent looking button. You're the princess.
Well, I collected stuff I found on the ground that was like, oh, this could be a toy. I did that so often.
Yeah, I played a lot with my imagination more than anything.
Oh yeah, me too.
But for Barbie, would you like to know some fun facts?
Sure.
All right, so Barbie was actually created by an American businesswoman, Ruth Handler.
Oh my God.
And the creation itself was credited to a doll, to a German doll called Bild Lily as her inspiration.
I want to say about the names of her and Ken.
Yeah.
There's trivia about them. About their names. I learned this like probably a year or two ago, but that's actually, yeah, I can see the resemblance between the Bild Lily doll and Barbie doll.
Yeah, I'm showing Rainey the image, and yeah, it looks very similar, except like its face is very like model, like kind of almost a foxy look.
Yeah.
While Barbie is more like American friendly, while this the German doll looked more like, I don't know, I guess, I mean, it's interesting to say, but almost like French.
Yeah. It's like, but I was trying to say, so the dolls were actually named after her kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Barbara and Kenneth.
Wow.
So a lot of people, when they learned about that, they were like, wait, they were named after her kids? Does that make up? And I'm just like, I'm not getting into that, but I'm like, no.
Oh no, because
Yeah.
they're usually paired together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but like I think it was squash. They're not related at all. So I'm just like, that's funny. Like I did not know they were named after her kids.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh wow, a little weird, but you know what? Your name's out there in a way. You're iconic, and that is a perfect nickname too.
Oh, do you want to know Barbie's full name?
Oh, I know it's Barbara Millicent
Yeah, Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Roberts. Oh,
yeah.
I knew that, but like I'm just like I keep forgetting that Roberts is her last name. So, woo.
Oh, so Ruth Handler watched her daughter Barbara play with paper dolls and noticed that she often enjoyed giving them adult roles. At the time, most children's dolls were representations of infants. Realizing that there could be a gap in the market, Handler suggested the idea of an adult-bodied doll to her husband, Elliot, who is the co-founder of the Mattel toy company.
Oh yeah, Mattel.
Apparently, he wasn't crazy about the idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now looking at it, he's just I don't know if he's still alive, but he's just like, well, this made me millions. This company.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna risk that.
Yeah. But yeah. I think Barbie's just like that one doll that you had to have in the 2000s. Because otherwise you're just like, you're uncool.
Oh, so Lily, the doll that's based off of, was a blonde bombshell. A working girl who knew what she wanted and was not above using men to get it. So, it's interesting because when I was looking at the images, there was almost something sexy.
Sexual.
Yeah, not sexual necessarily, but almost like sexy because like she had makeup, her body was a bit more curvier, and like she had like very fashionable clothes that weren't exactly modest.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting how the Barbie was like
Took that concept and played it down.
yeah, played it down more I would say appropriate to children.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yep.
The first Barbie doll wore a black and white zebra striped swimsuit.
Oh yes, I remember that. I remember seeing those pictures.
And it had a top knot ponytail and was available as either a blonde or brunette.
I would have loved the brunette one.
Oh, the first Barbie dolls were manufactured in Japan with their clothes hand stitched by Japanese home workers. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, that's a little bit of a little fun facts about Barbie.
Woo!
I really liked, yeah. I like
Yeah.
where Barbie is going now with the different body like types
With
and
different
stuff.
body types and like different skin colors. I'm like, and I think at some point, I think they even do like I think so far it's physical disabilities because I know there was at least one Barbie doll that came with a wheelchair.
That's really cool.
I mean, they did it like, they did that like in the 2000s too, but they didn't handle it like gracefully at the time.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but they're doing it better now.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I also like how they're not just like doing these different things like for the body and disabilities and like these other things, but it's also like you can kind of see like there's like, you know, the faces are different
Yeah.
too, which is very nice to see
That's
because
right.
it always like I feel like it always suffered from like the same face syndrome.
Same face syndrome, yeah. But yeah, now it's like a lot better. Like you
Yeah.
can see that you can actually see that they are putting effort into making sure like every doll is at least different.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before, but there was a Queen Elizabeth doll that was created not too long ago, which I think is really funny. But people would take, you know, buy it, and they would just take her head off.
Yeah, because she was the only articulated petite doll. Like had full articulation, like at the wrist, the elbows, the shoulder, the head. I think the torso at some point. I think the torso too. The hips, the knees, and the ankles. She was the only one that had complete articulation, and she was petite too. So doll collectors or doll crafters were like, we're getting her off with her head, and we are going to be using that body for the dolls that don't have the articulation. So I'm just like, I found that funny. I mean, like now with what had happened to Queen Elizabeth, I mean, I have neutral feelings about that, but it was funny at the time.
It was. I personally think it's very funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay. All hail. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway.
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
It's probably an unpopular opinion.
Yep.
One last thing about the Barbie. Did you ever remember the My Scene Barbie collection where you can actually change the facial expressions through the buttons on the back?
I never had My Scene. What the fuck is that?
One time I was in a Target and I saw it as a kid. Or I think I might have been like a preteen, but I saw it, and basically it's exactly how I described it. It has like these buttons on the back that stick out. So they have, a happy expression, like open mouth, a surprise, smirk, smile, and then frowny. And if you press these expressions, you can get some really weird faces.
I probably would have had nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
That probably would have scarred me for life.
But, like, I wanted it so bad. And I think it was, like, Barbie, because it was like it was like a Barbie My Scene, I think.
Yeah, I think at some point Barbie was actually part of the group.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was, like, some sort of collab? I don't know. Either way.
She was.
Oh, she was?
She was at some point, and then they, because it was, like, a separate, because at some point they had said goodbye to Barbie, like, because she moved to California.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember seeing those and I was like, oh my god, I want it so bad. Anyways, with this talk of Barbie, I literally just remembered it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, it was probably disturbing.
It was nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've spent like almost 16 and a half minutes talking about Barbie.
Yay, Barbie, we love it. Go Queen.
All right. Do you want to go with the next toy?
Sure. Bratz.
I actually never had the regular Bratz.
Oh, really?
I had the Bratz babies and the Bratz
God.
horses.
Oh my god, I forgot they did horses. I think I had one horse.
I think I had two. And for the babies, I had the twin pack.
Oh my god.
And they were like, because this was close to mid 2000s.
Were these just like baby versions of the main characters?
Baby versions with their heads ginormous.
I need to look this up.
Yes. So basically, if you guys don't know, Bratz is like a competitor to Barbie, where they're more. But oh, you saw them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunny just saw them.
Oh god.
Let me see. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they had giant heads.
And they had like weirdly like chonky feet. Because like they were babies.
Hold on.
There was a movie.
Yeah, there was a movie. Oh, okay. So I'm looking at Sunny's phone, and there's a pink and red twin set. That's what I had. That was the only Barbie, the Bratz babies that I had.
It's so weird looking at it because like,
yeah.
Why are they? So these are babies. Wearing full-on makeup to where it's almost like sexy. One of them has like red lipstick with a mole underneath her lip. Wearing a cropped shirt that's like, and then lacy looking underwear. What
I think
is
it's diapers,
this?
but yeah.
I mean, even if it's diapers, why is it lacy?
I don't know. Funny enough, these were actually in that Bratz Babies movie. They were the main ones.
I actually don't like it because like it's so.
Yeah.
No, it's the thing is like, especially with red lipstick, growing up, okay, maybe I am finding it problematic for no real reason, but like growing up, I associated red lipstick with adults. And I know. And like this makeup and stuff, like I don't want to call it sexual, but like these are literal babies. It's very weird to me.
Yeah. It's even more weird when you take into consideration the original Bratz are 14.
Yeah, and then you look at these babies, and they're wearing, like, little crop tops, little skirts, and, like,
and
what is this?
The sad thing is the company that made these dolls,
yeah,
they did it again, like, and they're really getting backlash for it.
Oh, I don't blame them.
Like, they did it with a new brand, which is called LOL Dolls.
Oh, Oh, really? There's backlash for that?
Like, if you really look into the first batches of LOL dolls, you will see that they are just like the Bratz. These Bratz baby dolls.
So is the controversy more about, like, what is the controversy,
It's
really?
more of, like, they're wearing... It's just like what you were saying. They were wearing stuff that like a teenager or an adult would wear.
Yeah.
And they weren't wearing makeup, but
yeah, it's very revealing. And, like, I mean, babies, like,
yeah.
like, they don't, they'll wear, like, little onesies, and sure, like, I've seen a lot of naked babies just running around. Because, like, I grew, like, you know, like, I'd spend the summers in Ukraine. Hello, everybody, I'm half Ukrainian. Fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times. But it's just, I don't know, it's really weird, and it's not like every single one that I'm looking at necessarily, like, looks like it, but it's just the fact that these are, like, geared towards, like, very, very young girls, I'm assuming. And these young girls are gonna look at these kind of things and be like, oh, I want to dress up like that. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I want to wear makeup. I want to wear red lipstick. And it's like, no.
I mean, when you really think about it, a lot of toy companies did push makeup to little girls with their dolls.
They did. And they would, like, sell makeup too. But the thing is, like, I don't know. When it came to, like, you know, remember those, like, old makeup things? Where it's, like, the glittery, like, gel, like, eyeshadow. And it's all, like, really bad quality.
Yeah.
But, like, it was very childish.
Yeah, like... You
Like,
could tell that was made for children.
Yeah, that was made for children. It's made to, like, experiment. It's made to not necessarily, like, look good. It's to be fun.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I don't know, because when you look at the regular Bratz dolls, I feel like for them, it's like, you know, it's more about the glitz and fashion more than anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I didn't have Bratz dolls, but... I don't know. I don't know what made me want to get the Bratz babies. I don't think I even asked for the twins. I don't remember. It was a Christmas gift, and my parents just like, here's a doll.
Dang, yeah. So I'm looking at some of like the regular Bratz dolls, and like they actually dress pretty modestly.
Oh yeah, especially in later. Oh no, like they were like probably like all like really up to fashion in 2000s.
Yeah, like, they wore, like, you know, those big jeans and, like, fun outfits.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They weren't very, like...
So, like, this is how I usually compare them to Barbie. Like, Barbie's more of that, really, proper...
I'd call it preppy, almost.
Preppy, yeah. It was preppy, I'm sorry. It was a preppy look, while the Bratz were more, like, kind of... were more urban. Like, something you would see in, like, say, Dallas, New York... Chicago or San Francisco, like more urban-like in a way if I'm explaining that right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's like, yeah, no, actually, yeah, that's a really good description, like city versus like suburban.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, the other thing is that like Barbie, it's like she's meant to represent like an actual adult.
Yeah.
At least initially, because she's supposed to, you know, be the big girl with all the big girl jobs, becoming an astronaut, becoming a doctor, like all these different things. Bratz, it's like, obviously they're teenagers. They're having fun. Yeah. And, like, I used to love that. I loved the fashion because it was so 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do you remember the Bratz male dolls?
I did not remember. By the time I learned about them, I was already past the doll age.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think that was like one that besides the Ken dolls, that was like probably the first time I was like, there's male dolls.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a lot of male dolls.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, aw, there should be more.
Yeah.
But yeah. The fun thing about the old like Bratz dolls, I don't know if this is still a thing these days, but first of all, it was so fun to accessorize them, right?
Yeah, it was very fun.
Not only that, but you can literally take off their feet.
That actually freaked me out. Not gonna lie.
It is a little bit freaky when you think about it because they had like kind of, you know, the big head, thin limbs, and then they had
the big
like
lips.
the big chunky feet.
feet.
And then it had the
lips.
big eyes and big lips. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like the big thing about them. And
And I think some didn't have a nose from certain angles.
yeah, they had a slight nose. It was very small though.
Very small, but like if you hold it at a certain angle, it looks like no nose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's more like the face has like a slight curve and then it just kind of
Yeah.
almost like a chibi like anime face.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, they were really fun. I liked how it always had like the same girls and it was like pretty like diverse.
Yeah. Like, and then they started adding more girls, and then it was like still diverse. Like they were like, yeah, there's more. Like I think they beat Barbie for diversity first, because like they didn't just have all white girls. They had one white girl, one Asian girl, one Hispanic, and one black in the main four. And then when they started adding more characters, they were still diversing, which I was like,
yeah.
that's really great.
And I love the fact that every single one of them were so glam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their body types weren't very diverse, and I don't know if current Bratz dolls are.
I don't know if they're still making. I don't know if they're still making Bratz dolls. That's the thing.
I don't know either.
I know they released some old Bratz dolls as collections, but I don't know if they're making new ones because I think the company moved on to another brand.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's the LOL dolls.
Oh,
slash
so they
OMB
are
dolls.
the same. Like, are they actually from the same?
Same company, MGM Studios. But they have different dolls.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bratz itself debuted in 2001. Oh, it's still present.
Oh, it's still present? I guess I'm wrong then.
It's still present, but I don't think
Like it's not like very noticeable.
I guess not.
Because
Like
I'm
you
not-
said, I think they have like primarily moved on to like the LOL. Is that called LOL?
LOL dolls.
Yeah, the LOL dolls. There was like controversies because of their stylized proportions, fashion forward like clothing. Let's see. Oh, and then they got a lengthy legal dispute with Mattel, which I think they were the brand for Barbie.
Yep.
Over the rights to its design, and apparently that ended in 2011. So that was actually pretty recently.
That's like a little under a decade ago.
Yeah.
No, it was a decade ago. Mm-hmm. Oh god.
Oh, so
But yeah, there's
yeah, in June 2021, for their 20th anniversary, Bratz released near replicas of the debut dolls from the 2001 launch.
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
So yeah, they came out in 2001, so they're not like that old. Like 20th anniversary, it's pretty recent. Barbie is like over 60, man.
Oh yeah.
She old.
She old.
She's an old fox.
She's a silver fox, vixen.
Silver vixen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're still trying to get used to our space. Like
Yeah, I almost knocked over something behind me. I'm
Yeah.
against the wall.
Yeah, and I worked so hard fixing that wall. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't actually do anything.
No, you didn't. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, what's next?
Oh, okay. I think this is on both our lists. Littlest Pet Shop.
Yes.
I don't remember how I got into it, but I know that I had gotten the big Pet Shop set.
My best friend, my childhood best friend, had that. I was so jealous.
Yeah, you didn't get it, did you?
I never got it. Yeah, so she promised me that she would give it to me because she was like moving and stuff, and I was like so pumped for it, but no, I never got it.
Yeah, and like they still kind of sell it. It's more of like, I got the Littlest Pet Shop. Like they still sell the old one in Amazon,
Yeah.
but it's like an arm and a leg now.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
And I made
it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I think it's the, if I'm correct, the one that you're, because I remember it was like the big play set. I think that was the, what do you call it? Was it the 2005, 2006 one?
Yes.
Because of Wikipedia.
Yes.
Yay, background noise.
Woo!
It says, from the 2005 to 2006 version, the Littlest Pet Shop toy line had molds that looked more unrealistic compared to the 1990s incarnation,
Yeah.
but had more realistic colors that blended in. They also had bobbleheads that came with a round pink or blue magnet with a paw print on it, and that was like located on the bottom of their feet. Some of the pets were fuzzy, and then this series of sets were released as single packages in pairs and packs of 20s or with play sets.
Yes, that was what I had. That's what I started, and then as I kept going, I still was collecting Littlest Pet Shops. But I was gonna say I actually took a screenshot of the playset, posted it on my Instagram, and I was like, and I think at the end of my comment I said, I'm gonna try to sell a kidney now to get this back, because I was like, I want to relive my childhood, because this is when I was still in college. But never did, and I think they already sold it out, so I'm just like, sad face.
Dude, honestly, sometimes I'm like, man, they were so cute.
They were so cute, yeah.
And the designs were so soft and round, and they were all, like, every single pet was so adorable.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, any of your favorite ones?
I remember the foxes. They came out towards the end of my Littlest Pet Shop phase. I love them. Mm-hmm. There was the ferrets. Some cat designs were very lovely for me. I didn't like the hamsters, oddly.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like them.
You know, I don't know if I like the hamsters either, but I feel like now I kind of like them.
Like, it's more of like yeah, it was like that ugly, cute way. If I can explain it well. Like, it's ugly, but in a cute way.
It's ugly cute.
Yes. I love the dogs, especially. I had some rabbits, but, like, looking at them, they're all, like, the same mold, and I'm like, it's, like, 3 molds. One with the ears completely up, one with one ear, like, folded down, one that's, like, ears are completely folded down. And I was like, eh. Mm-hmm. But it was a Littlest Pet Shop. I was like, I want to get as many as I can.
Yeah, they're pretty, interesting.
They're pretty hard to find now.
I bet. So I see that they were revamped in 2017, but past that, are they still, like, ongoing?
I don't know. I haven't heard any news about Littlest Pet Shop.
I mean, it says the availability is present.
I think I don't know, because I think it's a Mattel product.
It's actually Hasbro.
Hasbro. Okay.
It was formerly owned by Kenner.
Oh, right. So I don't know if Hasbro is still selling them. I haven't really looked into that. I know they're mostly focusing on the My Little Pony stuff, but I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, you were right about that. They have the My Little Pony. Also, they own Peppa Pig. I did not know that. They also own Monopoly.
Of course.
And Power Rangers.
Oh, I didn't know about Power Rangers. But of course that Hasbro owns Monopoly. The family-crushing game that makes you go into war with your family members.
Oh, I love Monopoly.
At least with my family, we always go into war.
My family straight up refuses to play with me. We would play, like, once when I was, like, a kid, but now they're like, no. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we only do it when we feel like, oh, you know what, we haven't had a fight in a long time. Like, more of like that. Like,
add some spice to your life.
Yeah, like that whole fight of, oh, I will destroy you in this game kind of fight. Whenever we haven't had that in a long time, we bring it out. We haven't brought it out for like a long time. I think the last time I opened a Monopoly board was a Christmas party from last year.
That was fun. I would be so down to do that again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chaos Monopoly. Yeah.
All right. Anything more to say about the Littlest Pet Shop?
No, not really.
They were cute.
I wish I could start my collection again. But I don't have the space.
Someday, my friend. Someday, once you get rid of all those trophies.
The trophies behind me that belongs to my brother.
What is he doing with them?
I don't know. He doesn't want them thrown away.
Well, they're his. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Any toys?
Let's see. I have a few. Okay. There are... Okay, I guess I'll look at this one. Webkins.
Yes, that was very much my middle school phase.
Honestly, yeah, for me it was late elementary when I was like 10 and then early middle school.
Yeah.
It was so popular in middle school.
Oh, yeah. I actually didn't learn about them until, like, I was about to graduate elementary school. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and I told my parents, like, I want one, and they were able to get me one. They got me the Rottweiler one, which I think about a year or two after it got released, it got retired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I named her Hannah after Hannah Montana. So, yeah, it was my baby. And I still have her to this day, because I can't bear to part with her, because, like, you know, she was especially there for me during middle school, which was not something I don't want to talk about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she was there for me a lot.
Aw. But yeah, it makes sense that you didn't hear it about it like early on, because it was
Because it did.
released in 2005.
Oh yeah, that was.
And yeah, I don't think it really got popular until like a little bit later on, like a couple of years later maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'd say it's around the same for me. Yeah, so for those who don't know, basically Webkinz is a stuffed animal franchise, and they also have an online counterpart.
Basically, whenever you got a Webkinz, you would get a code. Mm-hmm. You would log in, like either log in or sign up for an account, and you would type that code in, and you would be playing a virtual version of your pet.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you'd kind of have like this whole adoption process online.
Yeah.
And then you can do like really fun stuff like take your pet to pet school and, you know, play different games and activities to get, you know, money or gold, whatever it was. And one of my favorite things online was doing the gyms. Do you remember the gyms?
I think I remember the gyms.
Yeah, it's where you'd get like, if you got like all the colored gyms, you'd get a crown or something.
I did. I never got close. I was like always missing one.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I could never finish it. And I think my thing actually ended. It actually was like ending on the day was like, because like, just real quick, whenever you get a Webkinz, you extend your account a year. Or your playing account a year. Like, I don't know if you know this.
I did not know. I thought you basically had it for life.
No.
Until, like, basically, you know, after a certain amount of time, if you're not active, it just disappears.
It did. It does. But it was like, once you like, every pet gave you a year. A whole year to play. Mm-hmm. And when you got another pet, you added another year.
Oh, so that's why people would buy, like, 50 of them.
That's why. Because, like, they were extending their time.
Which is insane to think about, because that's like, wow, 50 years of playing
Webkinz. No, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong word.
Were you going to say communist?
Yes, I meant...
Communist Webkinz, follow the manifesto.
No, that's not
Karl Marx.
That's not what I meant. What? Capitalism.
Oh, yeah, that is very capitalism. That is very much not a communist thing, I would... imagine.
I feel like I have to keep that in. Okay.
So I remember growing up, a lot of my friends who were typically the more like low-key popular girls.
Yeah.
They would have so many Webkinz. Like in their rooms, whenever I'd go to their house, like they would have like 50 lining the walls around their bed.
Yeah.
And then when we'd go online, they would have all their Webkinz like you know, in there, and you could play all of them, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Because I only had a few. My first Webkinz, I got at the mall from that Justice
Justice stores? Yeah.
Yeah. My mom got it for me, and it was a tiger that I named Goldilocks.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then one of my other favorite Webkinz I had was a raccoon. He was a little trash boy.
Oh, it was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a bunch. I even actually had 2 virtual pets that were from the playing cards, the trading cards.
Yeah,
I've lost those.
I forgot.
So
there were
now
trading cards.
There were, and now I've permanently lost them because I no longer have my account. And I don't know if they're still selling Webkinz at all, like the plush versions.
I think they are, but I don't think they're
like
they're definitely not as popular as they used to be.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's going the route of like, you know, Beanie Babies, where it's getting like It does not look like the original at all.
Yeah.
Because have you seen them? Because the original Beanie Babies, they were floppy and almost like more realistic looking.
Yeah. The new ones are like, they have big eyes, and they are
glittery.
Glittery, and it's like,
yeah. It's all sparkles and giant heads, and that's not what Beanie Babies were. Like,
No.
not at all. So, I don't know. For me, it doesn't make sense why they did that. Like, why don't you just make it a new side brand based off of that instead of just rebranding Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
Because that's not what Beanie Babies were.
Yeah. I actually still have some Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies were fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I had some. I don't think I owned one until more recently. I got like an octopus Beanie Baby, I think. And I got it from like a little like, what do you call it? I guess a thrift store?
Oh, yeah. Those are usually the best place to find Beanie Babies because people don't... Because even now, like, people don't realize that Beanie Babies are, like, they can go up to the millions now.
Really?
Yeah, they're very... Because some Beanie Babies are more expensive, are more harder to find than others.
Because I thought it was the opposite case where people thought they were going to cost a lot later in the future, so they started collecting them.
Yeah.
And then it never really went anywhere.
So that was back then, but it's more of the vintage ones, like the ones that were like the first few batches.
Okay.
Those are the ones that cost like millions of dollars because you can't
sense.
find them anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to think that would be there would be a person who would like give an arm for like a little old Beanie Baby.
Oh yeah. Well, we were actually talking about webkins, but since we're still talking about stuffed animals, let's talk about Neopets.
Were there stuffed animals?
There were stuffed animals for Neopets.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
There were. I had one, lost it, don't know where it went.
Whoa, that's
But yeah.
crazy to me because I was never really into the Neopet craze.
Yeah.
I had like the mobile app game where you could do very limited stuff.
Yeah, I went to the website kind of like, if I didn't went to webkins.com, I went to neopets.com. And I played the games. I never got a pet, but I played the games as religious as I can. And it was like so fun. I'm so mad now that some of the games might not work again because, Flash is dead. And I'm sad.
There was a YouTuber who did a really good video about the history of like Neopets.
Is it Izzy?
I think it might have been Izzy.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah, Izzy's.
Izzy's.
It's IZZZYZZZ.
Or because they're from New Zealand, IZZZZYZZZ.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, there are some like a few videos, and I feel like if it was her, did she also do the one about Gaia Online? Because I feel like there was...
I don't know.
There was somebody who did Neopets and Gaia Online.
I don't know. I feel like we're also
Slightly derailing.
Did
Oh,
I?
no, it was Red Bard.
Red Bard.
Yeah, Red Bard on YouTube did a video about the rise and fall of Gaia Online. And I think they did one about Neopets as well. And it was interesting because they were looking at, like, specifically the economy.
Oh my god.
Because, on Gaia Online, for those who remember it, economically in the game, things were pretty alright until more recently, where everything just got crazy inflated.
Ooh.
And you could easily get, like, 1 million gold, but everything else costs, like, 1 billion gold.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. But I think something similar like that happened to like Neopets, or I don't know. There was some weird stuff happening, especially with the creators. There's a lot of interesting stuff. So check both of those people out on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, sorry for derailing.
Yeah.
Continue raining.
Yeah, but Neopets. I think I would play religiously on the website as a kid with all the games, the Flash games. Sad that there's no more Flash games.
Honestly, they were so fun.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Flash game on the site?
I think there was one where a Neopet was trying to collect her dolls for a trip. Mm-hmm. And you had to collect all the dolls and all the sets.
Oh yeah.
And the harder the level, the more you had to collect. And you had like about a set time limit. If you didn't get that, you were screwed. Game over.
Do you remember what level you got to?
I think I was able to hit the highest level. and then that was it.
Oh, so you beat it.
I was able to beat it because at the time, like when I first started it, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't take it seriously. And then of course I have like a bit of the whole oh my god like pressure thing. But as I got a little bit older, before I stopped following Neopets, I was able to complete the whole levels.
Wow, you became a gamer.
Yeah.
I feel that with going back to Webkins briefly.
Oh yeah.
There was a game where it was like the smoothies. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. Even when I was like looking at the mobile version, like a year ago, I would play that.
I know, it was fun.
It was so
I
fun.
was, oh my god, that's when I got my first taste of rage quitting.
I don't think I had rage quitting. I think it was more of pressure quitting for me.
Pressure, oh, like you're too, like it's too intense. Honestly, that game would get so intense so fast.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, getting past like the 4th level, it was like
The
just heavy breathing.
Yeah. The frustrating thing for me was getting the smoothie combos because I could never get more than 2.
Gosh,
I hated it.
Whenever I got the 3 or the 4, I think it went up to 4.
Yeah.
Or was it just 3?
It for the highest level, it's a minimum of 4, but you can go higher.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those, oh gosh, that, you never know, you never knew true satisfaction until you hit that right combo in that game. It was so good. Oh my god, and now I am the gamer that I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to Neopets, what were the stuffed animals like?
So think of Webkins, but creatures that either did not make any sense or creatures that
They were almost like animal hybrids.
they were almost
Very
animal hybrids.
fantastical, yeah.
Yes, that's the best way I can explain it. There was at least one that was like normal. No, 2 that was at least normal, which was the tiger and then the wolf. That was the only 2 normal animals I remember. And oh my god, there was
Honestly, they looked so funky.
Oh yeah, there was even like I think they were, you know, like real quick, Darrell, you know about iCarly?
Yeah.
Neopets had something close to iCarly where kids can submit videos on their website and you would be able to watch it. And
I think that was mentioned in the Red Bard's video as well, actually.
yeah, and the thing is, I went back before Flash died to look for those videos. I couldn't find them.
You couldn't?
I couldn't find the section for all the videos that the kids submitted. I don't know if they removed it
Probably.
But I was like, a lot of them were really good, and like I don't think these kids knew how to save videos too, so they couldn't upload it on their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh
so
my
mad.
gosh, wait, speaking of YouTube channels, I remember those YouTube videos where kids would like make those RPs with their like Webkins or stuffed animals, and I remember watching them, or I remember making one of those with one of my friends, I think, and it was very intense.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had made one as a kid, and I kind of want to make one, but
I want to make one now.
one day,
Not right this moment.
not right
but
this
in
moment.
general.
I would love to make one.
Because let me tell you, if we did it together, it'll be very plotty.
So dumb. So dumb, but I would love
It
to.
would be so good.
You want to work on a script later?
Yes. No, it has to be spontaneous.
Spontaneous?
Yeah. Well, we can make it like a really loose script.
Yes, a
but
loose
then,
script.
like, it has to be spontaneous. Because
Yes.
that's how it was done.
Yeah.
They didn't make scripts.
Oh,
They
yeah,
just do
didn't
it
know-
off the fly.
Yeah, of course. I forgot.
And then they would make like subtitles, like in the YouTube video, make the text on the screen, and then have
Yeah.
like dramatic music playing in the background.
Yes. Oh my god. I want to make a cringy one now.
We're gonna do it.
We're-
So, audience, our dear precious viewers, I think it's important to nurture, that child in yourself.
Yes.
The ones who used to like use their imagination, play with it. And you felt so loose and free. Like, I missed that.
It was so fun.
It was fun.
I think it's important to look back at that inner child, and just like nurture that need for creation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because, it's still a part of you.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
like-
like it's just, growing up, it's kind of like...
Some people try to stuff it out, which is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's that whole expectation for, hey, you need to do more serious things.
Oh yeah.
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 Do you think we have enough time for one more, or do you want to go ahead and call it?
I want to talk about this one toy.
Oh, the one toy. All right, this will be our last one.
Okay, so quick context. Earlier, a few days ago, when we were talking about creating this list, I remembered this one toy that I had, I got it for Christmas, and for 6 hours, I couldn't figure out the name. I was at work on my day job too, so I didn't know what it was, and it was bugging me so much that I literally told one of my coworkers to see if she could help me. She didn't know. She said, and I tried to explain it too, and she was like, it sounds like the metal sticks and balls like I used to play with, and I'm just like, maybe. And I spent 6 hours looking for the stupid building Legos knockoff toy. And I was getting so mad because I was like, what the fuck? How do I remember this, but no one else remembers this? Like,
The Mandela effect, except it's just you.
it's just me. And I'm getting so fucking mad. And I'm like, and also, please don't do this while you're at work. I'm looking for it like crazy. Like, I'm going on my phone and I'm like looking up 2000s toys, 2000s building toys, 2000s girls building toys. And I'm like getting so fucking heated because I do not know where to find this fucking toy.
It's not good to get heated, especially when you're like at your work and it's like a customer service type job, because then the customer comes in and you're like, what the fuck do you want? What the fuck are you doing here?
I mean, I was able to shut it off real quickly, but you know, because retail. But
Yeah, super fun.
I was able to find it.
Okay. So, the only thing I knew previously is that this was a toy that Rainey was struggling to figure out its name. I didn't know it was like a knockoff Lego build set.
No. It seemed like it.
Oh.
But it was made by Mattel.
Oh.
Or was Mattel really allow it to get through? And it had the stupidest name. Don't look at it yet. It had the stupidest name, and this was the reason why I couldn't figure it out. Like, I remember what it looked like, but I couldn't figure out the name. Why none of my coworkers would ever be know, because first off, they're high schoolers. Except for a few.
Would not know.
Except for a few. They're like closer to my age as universities. But like when I showed the one coworker of mine about when I was telling her I couldn't find it, showed it to her and she's like, yeah, I've never heard of it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is such a niche toy that only I remembered what it looked like, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the fucking name was.
I want to know the name.
You want to know the name?
I want to know the name.
It is called Hello Building Toys.
Hello.
Yeah, it's hello without the H.
Hello.
And I was so fucking pissed because
Wait, I want to see it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the picture. Let me get a picture that will work. Cause
Rainy, take a deep breath.
I'm so pissed because it took me so long. Like here's a small set.
Ew, what the?
So if you guys don't know,
I do not.
It's basically you not only create the playset like Legos, but you actually create the character. Like it had multiple spots. Like you had like some of the clothing were like flat pieces of plastic, and the legs and shoes were like two tubes stuck together, and the body was like a circle, and then you have like little flaily flat limbs.
It almost reminds me of like the Mr. Potato Head, like how you kind of like build him, except not at all. Where you're literally using basic shapes.
Yeah, and like of course
it looks so funky.
It looks so funky, and I remember it so clearly, but no one knew about it. And the fact that I don't even remember the name, and I literally was on the verge of just blowing up. I was so mad, and when I found it, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? What is with the name Elo? And like, I even told my mom, because like, she's gonna hear this, and she's gonna talk to me about this later, but I told her about the name, and she's like, is that really was the name of the product? Like, she didn't know, and she bought it for me. Her and my late dad bought it for me, and they didn't even know the name.
Oh, yeah, so it was created around 2002 to 2004, which I think sounds very accurate.
Yeah.
It was the Elo creation system was a breakthrough toy created to engage girls in construction play.
Yeah.
The fact that your mom... Well, I'm not surprised. My parents, like, do not remember anything.
Yeah. And, like, oh my god, I legit was, like, on the verge of exploding because I couldn't find it. And it wasn't until I looked up, I think it was 2000 Girls Building Toys, I looked through the pictures and I found it. And I clicked on it, and it didn't have the name, so I was trying to look through the website, and it said, hey, did anyone remember the Ello creation system or the Ello building toys? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I wasted 6 hours with this thing living in my head rent-free when I could be focusing on work, trying to remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed off for like for the rest of my shift, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
You for 6 hours at work, and then the toy creeps in your brain like, hello.
I hated it so much. And the sad thing is, I wanted to find this stupid set because the set I had was like basically a house, but that no longer exists because they're
Really?
like there's no way no one sells them anymore.
Oh, yeah, because basically looking at it, not only could you create, like, you know, little people and characters, you could also create, like, an actual, like...
World.
Yeah, like an actual set.
Yeah. The only issue is the one that I had, which was, like, basically making a house, no longer is sellable, but the freaking aquatic version of it is...
Wait, that's really funny.
It is! It's on Amazon right now, and I think the cheapest is, like, $86.
Ooh, that's expensive.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to buy this stupid thing. I want to make a fucking video about it.
Are you just gonna be angrily like putting up together the Ello aquatic set? Hello, you bitches! Like, oh, I'll say hi to you. Hello, what
Yes,
are you?
yes.
Fucking like British?
Yes, and I will drag you in with me.
I'll be like la 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 la. Oh, I'm having so much fun creating this little aquatic play set. I have my little weird looking character. She's a mermaid.
Yes. And
Meanwhile, Rainy is like, damn it.
I'm so mad because it took 6 hours to figure out the stupid name. And it's so stupid.
Wow, I can't believe you wasted 6 hours of your life like that. That's so funny. I could never.
Because I was like, oh, you know, the list shouldn't be that long. And I'm making it. And then I'm like remembering this one stupid toy. And I'm like, what the fuck was this name?
Yeah,
And
I remember you messaging me about it. And I'm like, bruh, I don't know. And then like a while later, you're like, I finally found it. And I was like, whoa, that was like a while ago. What?
yes. And I don't think you read... I don't know if you read the undertone, but I was so pissed when I sent you that. Because I was like, what the fuck? I legitimately was about to... Oh, I put the wrong list. I put it in the wrong list to put it in. I was so legitimately mad.
Where did you send it to me?
In Discord.
Oh my goodness. I really want to see what the heck like the chat was.
I was just so mad.
Oh, yeah. You said... Yeah, I mean, there is one toy that I had, but I don't remember what it was called. And then you're like, I'll tell you about the toy on Sunday and the journey it took to find the name. And it's just like, wow. Seems like a lot happened.
I was so mad. I was so mad. Because it took me 6 hours.
And that's where we're ending today's episode on Rainy's anger. Well, this is what I'm going to say to our lovely viewers. I am glad you were here for our closet chat.
Us going down memory lane and
And-
us losing our temper.
Not only do I say hello, I also say goodbye. Have a good night.
Have a good morning.
Have a good afternoon.
Have a good evening. I'm still so fucking mad.
I hope you take this as an opportunity to go down memory lane and, you know, try to nurture that child part of yourself and try not to feel too old.
And try not to lose your temper when you're trying to remember a stupid toy.
And that's the lesson for today's episode. Bye.